Can I play up the dumb card though, Dan? Because it's on paper that I'm not normal.
Well, I mean, this kind of depends on how society changes, but as of right now, I think you should probably have the green light.
Yeah, because mental
I mean,
disability
if you ever get canceled, I'm going to be just like on the news, like, I can vouch this guy's an idiot.
yeah.
I've known this guy for years now. Yeah, this is not a very well-read man.
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't know. It needs to be respected more. Dumb people need to be given a little bit more of a crutch.
Well, I mean, do you think like when you travel, especially domestically, Midwest, do you feel you're actually below average in terms of like intelligence?
Yeah.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Even like in Youngstown stuff, do you feel like you're one of the dumb ones?
Yeah, dude. Believe it or not, some of the top schools are in Youngstown.
Oh, yeah? I don't know if I believe
People
that.
travel there for an engineer school, and there's a medical near Youngstown. There
is like a University of Youngstown, right?
Yeah, Youngstown State University is known for people travel to go there. I think engineering, maybe.
Oh, wow. So you meet people there, and you're like, man, I got to back off a little bit. Let him talk.
Yeah. Well, no, I still talk. I'll let you know that I'm done. I'll tell you right if you don't realize in the first few minutes, people talk to me for a couple minutes and they realize, oh, something's not right. I see the look in their eye.
Right.
Because first they'll try to debate me about something.
Oh, yeah.
Then they'll realize, wait, I'm talking to a third grader here.
Right. Yeah. But do you meet a lot of people who are actually like, do you feel like people are actually smart, or do you just sense that they're just smarter than you?
I mean, yeah.
Where do you, if you had to rank it out of 100, where would you put yourself number wise? Because obviously 0 is like non-functional.
But are we talking general education? What are we talking?
I mean, just general intelligence.
Overall intelligence?
Yeah.
Because, there's people that are engineers that just don't got the common sense to sit here and have a conversation with someone. You ever talk to somebody like that?
Yeah, it's like an Asperger's
They're
thing.
delusional. I don't know if it's they'll be like telling you, I got a Camaro, and you'll be like, bro, okay, man, I got it.
Social graces.
Right.
But in terms of just like book smarts.
Oh, dude, I'm right above. I'm very much right above.
Out of 100.
Dude, you know what we got to do on the podcast?
I mean, like, I out of 100, and 100 is like Stephen Hawking, like, genius, doctor's PhD level, and like 0 is like non-functional. You need a guy to help you like put socks on.
I'd say about a 5. I think one of my socks is on backwards.
No. 5 is like someone has to put food in your mouth.
No, all right, then maybe
you know how to like use a phone.
I choked before.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know how to do you could read. You are literate.
Don't get ahead of yourself, dude. I'm telling you, I was reading something on the train just now in front of a couple comics. They sent me this Instagram thing about how to get famous on Instagram, and I'm reading it in front of them. Dude, people on the train are cracking up.
Wow.
If I read on this podcast, you'll see. Wow, I talk about this all the time. I just almost look normal. But I'm telling you, if you've seen me read something, Dan.
But, I mean, if I give you a little time with it, let you get familiar with the subject for a couple minutes, you can, you'll figure it out. You're not illiterate. But, like, there's like a third of this country, like maybe a fourth, is like illiterate, where they're just looking at it's just shapes.
I did see one or two people like that I was smarter than.
You were in LD classes, so there were some people that had, like, legit, like, non-functioning kind of shit going on, right?
Yeah, but something, they're still smart. Maybe they can't function properly, but you ask them something, they'll surprise you with that answer.
Huh.
You'll be like, I didn't think about that.
Well, the thing about being in like special classes is that you're either like very below or you're just so far above that just nobody can understand you.
Right.
Yeah, there's going to be a couple kids in there who are just like, there's just too much going on.
I was in there with a kid, and they put him in there just because English wasn't his first language.
Yeah, of course.
People just don't care. A kid spoke like 4 languages.
Well, I mean, you're just, at that point, I think you just make the teacher uncomfortable. So it's like, I can't deal with this. You got to go down the hall. Yeah, you just hang out down. They're not going to, you're not going to stab yourself, so.
Where's the hands-on teachers? That's the reason people are illiterate. I'll be honest with you, dude. I've had so many teachers just give up on me from the beginning. I had one teacher reach me. The first teacher that tried reaching me, I don't know. I was a little skeptical. I was watching a lot of Dateline. I thought he was trying to molest me, so I kind of stared back. I'm like, I don't need knowledge that much.
Hey, maybe.
Looking back, I think he was genuinely trying to help.
Yeah.
But then the next teacher, that really reached me, I put my guard down and I was like, man, this guy's, he's like really helping me.
Wow.
We would sit down and he'd like make it fun. And I realized, I learned this shit. Like I learned it. I mean, it was like.
Well, just think like in terms of teaching is such a hard job and it pays so little, especially public school teaching. Yeah. It's already hard to get anybody that wants to do this. That it's like, what are the odds someone's going to want to do it and go the extra mile?
Yeah.
Of like, I'm going to sit down and make up a game about how to read. And it's like, that's a lot.
See,
if I was a teacher, I would have given up on you too.
I had to teach people.
But I mean, like, unless you were like, really like, you got to find someone with a heart of gold that's willing to really like sit down and, help you figure it out. Because you got to think too. I mean, I've heard this argument a lot before about how teachers aren't trying hard enough and how they need to make things more engaging. There's 29 other kids in that class. It's like, what about them?
Right.
I mean, while this teacher is like using hand puppets to show you how to read as a high schooler, all these other kids are like, what the fuck? I got to go to college.
Yeah.
I got to deal with this. It's like,
where I dealt with it, where I was ahead of the class, was construction class. We had to spend so much time learning the ruler. These people never did construction.
Right.
I've been around it my whole life. I know how to use a ruler. It'd be 1 1/8. Dude, for a month, people couldn't get the ruler. And I remember being like, oh, this is how people felt when we were in physics. And I kept asking the teacher or whatever. See, I'm a good teacher, though, because I am so dumb. I realize... you can't just glance over something and be like, okay, so you take the 2, you carry the 5, and then you do that. When I would teach people in detailing cars, which you think, oh, there's not, that's easy to teach. But really, dude, you could ruin it like a $60,000 car so easy in seconds.
Right.
So, that's more than getting a mark wrong on a piece of paper. You could use some whiteout on that shit. You can't use no whiteout on a Corvette. You
true.
get one mistake. And I would teach people because I realized how serious it was. And I would be like, all right, you take your rag, you do it, watch, look, you flip it.
Yep.
And I do it real, and then you'll wipe underneath. Not this side of the rag. Flip it.
Well, you're dealing with other people who also weren't good in school. Because there's nobody who was good in school who was like, the guy that ends up working at the car wash.
There was one guy. He was brilliant, man.
There's a couple, I mean, every once in a while, you get Goodwill Hunting. Where it's like, the janitor who's but I mean, the vast majority of people who get into the car detailing business, that probably wasn't like, they weren't doing that or, designing
Yeah, this guy
they
had
weren't
a
architects.
Scam. There was one dude, he was so smart, dude. I think I talked to you about this scam before. He went around to all these car dealerships and he would print up some papers. And he just had bullshit. He sold himself on being like an expert detailer. He wore like a white lab coat and he ripped them off so hard. He would be getting we would have to detail the car completely.
Yeah.
Make the car perfect. Inspection looks great. And then it would go over to him for the doctor's detail. And dude, he'd do nothing. He'd wipe it. You know what he'd do? He'd use this stuff. There's this chemical. If you wipe it on a car, it strips all the wax off. Oh. So we would detail a car. And this just shows you how dumb people with money are. They would pay us like $45 to detail this car and make it look perfect. So when you detail a car, when you buff it, the stuff that you're using to buff it's going to hide the scratches. Like there's brightener. Yeah. You're not getting rid of those scratches.
Yeah.
You're hiding them for 3 months. Or you're making the paint look better for like 2 months. So he would just strip off what we did. And he'd be like, you see that? Look. And he'd show people, see, the scratches are still in there. Saying they would pay him extra to detail it.
Wait, so he would make it look more scratched then?
Yeah, he would take a rag right after we got done with it.
Yeah.
He'd take a regular rag and he'd scratch the hell out of it.
Wow.
He'd take this spray and he'd wipe off everything that we just did completely. And then he'd be like, you see that? And then, he ended up telling on us, so I told on him. That got childish after a while.
Yeah.
But, he told on us. He was like, yeah, Dom didn't buff this one. And, I did, but I didn't, do all the steps. Because I knew, I'm like, yo, this guy's about to take everything off anyway.
Right.
So what's the point?
Well, I think he understood something, though, more than... He understood what they were going to think when he did it.
Yeah.
He had a good psychology of like what the customer thinks.
He did.
It's half of like, detailing. Well, when you get like a car, when you buy a new car and they give you all the options, nobody knows what any of that shit means.
Right.
But if you're just a smart enough salesman, you can just throw some extra shit in there.
That's
undercoating.
Yeah, you got to do safety. You got kids, you want them to live.
Yeah.
Yes, you get them to
it's
say
like
what
kind of tires do you want? Do you want the good ones or do you want the safety tires?
Dude, I've seen salesmen. Dude, I'm telling you. Yeah, that's what they do. See, the thing about your car is it's going to kill your children. I've seen one salesman. He was great. He'd take a hammer and he'd put it on the desk. He'd be like, now, you seem like a educated man. And the person be like, yeah. And he'd be like, would you take this hammer and smack your wife with it? And he's like, no, I would never. He goes, well, why would you put him in that car?
Wow.
He goes, do you understand the safety ratings on that car? He goes, you got to get out of this car immediately.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, your your kids, you want to see them grow up, don't you? And then before you know it, the dude's signing the pay. It's for our safety, Dan.
Wow.
The wife's saying, boom, gotcha, ripped you off for $5,000.
Extended warranty.
And then the thing is, the cars that they were selling were the least safe. It's just,
right.
How good could you sell it?
Being a salesman, it's a lot like being a magician, where it's like you just know that if I just wave my hand like this enough, they're not going to see what's going on over here.
Right.
Where it's like if you just train yourself and you do it long enough, you just have the confidence to go like this with your hand. Yeah. And eventually, it's almost always going to work. And when it doesn't work, it's like, all right, well, it worked all these other times, so it's still worth keeping it.
There was one guy, they called him Big Country. That was his trick. He wasn't from Texas or nothing, just a normal guy.
Yeah.
No accent, but he faked this accent.
Right.
And yo, how y'all doing? I'm Big Country down Big Country Motors. Let me take care of you. Oh, Country's going to hook you up. I'm a country boy.
Wow.
And he'd be just like that. Ripped everybody off. He'd go to retirement homes and get them to sign, and he would sell them cars. There was all these new cars at retirement homes. I used to have to drop them off and give some lady the keys. She'd be like shaking.
Wow.
My boss messed up. But yeah, he did all that. And then he he went down. I don't know if he sold them. I don't know if he sold them to girls at retirement homes, but I think once or twice he did.
Yeah.
I don't know how often he pulled it off, but these people would join churches and get a whole new religion to sell some Pontiacs.
Wow.
They'd be like, I got a long time. You never know.
Man, when I was working at that law firm, I first got to New York City. I worked there for like 3 weeks. And like the first week, they sent me up to the Bronx to like this, because they needed like a form signed from one of the clients. So they just sent me up, and I just got to New York City, so I went up way up in the Bronx, like where it's like, forests and shit.
Yeah.
And like you go further, and then I ended up in like near like the projects up there, and they sent me to this retirement home because I had to get this one lady to sign a form. But man, they must have thought I was the shadiest guy of all time. Just showing up with this cheap ass suit on, just like trying to get this like clearly dementia-ridden lady to just sign a form.
Wow.
I was so sad. It was me and this notary guy that had to just,
Once you're bringing the notary with you, you know it's a problem.
It's funny, though. It's like part of being smart. You're saying there are levels to like being educated and being kind of like socially smart. But it's not just about being smart. It's about understanding what the other person thinks when they're looking at you.
Right.
If you can get that down, it's like you can be rich no matter what.
Yeah.
If you're just like, if you can figure out how far you can push them before they actually like tap out.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Especially if you're in like a sales job like that.
Being socially aware.
Yeah. See, I think like you have learning disabilities and you can't read very well, but at least you got that.
I wonder, do I have that though? You think I'm socially aware?
To an extent. I mean, you're not as bad as you're reading.
Yeah. I guess if you have to weigh it out.
If you had to put it on like a meter, then yeah, I think you're somewhere in the green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get more aware when I'm on stage. I know where I'm at, and I know my landscape when I'm on there. Like I know, okay, I could do this. They're not liking this. That took me a while.
It's true, yeah. I mean, it's an awareness that some people just don't really have, I think.
Yeah.
But what's it like for you when you try to read? Can you describe it? Is it like the words get jumbled, or is it like you see the word and then like it disappears in your head.
No, one of my biggest things with reading any sort of knowledge is, even if it's not just reading, even if me and you could have an hour-long conversation about how you went to the store and bought apples, I'm going to know everything about that. Huh. And then the second you say, oh, this is something that's very valuable for you to learn, this is what I'm going to hear, won't. I check out anytime it comes to learning.
Huh.
But like same thing with reading. If I start to read a page, first off, you know, like certain connections of certain words, when you put them together, it's difficult for me to understand. I have to read that like 5 times. I'll be like, that don't make sense. And then probably because I don't know about structure of a paragraph or whatever.
Right.
Like so I'll be like, I just don't get, and I'll have to read that like 3 times, and then it'll set in like one sentence that just is a weird collective of words that you don't normally see together.
Huh.
And then
do you like try to say it out loud?
Yeah, like I read better when I read out loud. Maybe, I don't know. The thing is, when I really want to read something, if I'm into it, I'm zoned in and reading. But the second I'm not into it, like if it's anything about learning, that's why I always read about comedy, because I'm into comedy.
Right.
I love hearing stories of people on the road and things like that. But the second any sort of education, like when I'm trying to learn when I'm reading about Adobe or something with editing, I check out. And here's one thing I really will never understand about reading. Okay, there's so many different words to describe one word. Like I could say promising, right? Mm-hmm. But people writing a book are going to say, you know what? I'm not going to say promising. I'm going to say, another word for promising, like vestular. And it's like, right. And I don't know, I just made that up, but and then you're reading, so the career was vestular. It's like, come on. Dude, now I gotta look up this fucking word.
Right.
That's what kills me with reading. You put 4 of those in one sentence. It's like, who are you trying to impress over here?
The thing is, though, when you are reading and you come across something that you can't comprehend, do you understand that it's just beyond your comprehension, or do you think the writer is doing it on purpose to confuse you?
No, I guess I never thought about that with picking words, maybe to set the tone.
But do you understand why somebody would use a more sophisticated word as opposed to a basic word?
I guess to make it sound better.
I mean, it's more precise. There's different ways to say something. There's one of them is going to be more specific, as opposed to general.
I guess that makes sense.
But I think there's 2 ways that people approach this when they're reading something that they don't really, not even just reading, when you're just approaching any subject that you don't really understand. Some people are going to read it and think, all right, clearly I need to learn. I got to step my own game up because there's something here that I'm not getting. And there's some people that encounter it and they think, no, this guy's just being an asshole. the meaning is there, but they're just trying to hide it.
Yeah.
But I think what's almost always the case, sometimes I agree, sometimes people are just trying to sound fancy, especially if it's like if you're dealing with like a lawyer.
Yeah.
People who get paid to sort of like be a middleman. But most people who are writing a book, they're trying to get you to get the point. If there was an easy way to get this across, I would have used the easy word.
Yeah.
But the reason why I used the college word is because this is a college subject, and I got to be specific.
Yeah.
I can't do this with shapes and like.
That's interesting.
There's certain things you can't explain with sock puppets because there's, there's too much to actually explain. So that's why I got to use the one word that you got. Maybe you got to look it up, but once you look it up, you'll realize hopefully why I used that word as opposed to,
Then there's sometimes when you look up the word, it's got 7 different meanings. I'm like, okay, which one do they mean here?
Right. I think a lot of times, though, it's just like, because even sometimes I read a lot, and sometimes somebody will ask me what a word means, even if a word that I just read. Even if I can't explain what word, I can't give you the definition of the word, but it's more about a feeling.
Yeah.
I read it in context and I read the whole paragraph. I can get the feeling of it.
Yeah, I kind of could too a little bit.
Yeah, you know what they're trying to get across. And it's not like you're trying to it's not like a cooking recipe where if I fuck up this one thing, everything falls apart.
Yeah.
It's like, no, if any given word and out of 100 words, I only got to understand about 80 of them.
You know where I think being dumb helps me with not knowing so many words? Honestly, with comedy, because the majority of people don't know that many words.
That's true.
You ever see a comedian, he's going to go up there and be all extra smart Nobody know. Half the room don't know what he's talking. Like, you see somebody. So the thing about physics is, right? When you got a molecular object, and then you see like 7 people laughing, it's like, what are you doing there?
Right.
Like,
but I mean, at some point, that guy's gonna have an audience of those people, and he's gonna, really be able to get his niche.
Yeah, they'll love him.
If you try to dumb yourself down too much, I mean, you can't. At some point, you won't be able to do that joke.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though, is that, like we were saying, it's about awareness. So you are in a situation where there's a lot of dumb guys in the audience.
Right.
So you got to have the sense, I think, in the beginning to know that, like, all right, they're not going to get this. There are some jokes you do, I think, even in stand-up, where it's like, not the entire crowd's not going to like it.
I've been watching my tapes, and I'm like, I don't like how this, like, ghetto street cool looking dude is. I'm telling my brother, I'm like, dude, I don't like how I'm talking all like, man, what's up with it? When I'm telling him that, I'm like, I don't talk to you like that. My brother's like, yeah, you do.
Yeah, you kind of do.
I
mean, you are from Youngstown.
Yeah, I guess it's one of those things, like, I'm never that aware of that's how I really speak to people.
Right. Well, I mean, I think the thing is that you've probably seen other comics who actually are trying to just turn it on.
Yeah.
And it looks weird.
Yeah.
But when it comes out so naturally for you, I think you just don't even notice it.
I hate seeing it on camera, though. I'm like, dude, that's how I speak to people. Like, that's how I talk. I wonder why I'm put in a box with people.
Well, I think what happens too is that we perform in less than ideal circumstances.
Yeah.
And so you just end up playing to it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's the crowd that you're talking to. When you're seeing people, you're trying to connect with the crowd that's in front of you.
Yeah.
So you end up trying to talk, in a way that you think that's going to connect with them.
Right.
You do perform for a lot of black people.
Yeah.
It happens a lot, right?
Yeah, it does.
And I mean, like, it's not like you're trying to really put on, a black accent or something, but it kind of comes out naturally if you're just around it long enough.
It does.
Yeah.
I wonder if when people look at me, if they're like, I don't know if we could really do anything with this kid, or does it stand out?
It's not like you're like a super unique dude, though.
Right.
This is a type of guy. If you're in the middle of America, if you go to Youngstown, there's probably a lot of guys that are like you.
Now, how can I unique it up?
Well,
I mean, stand out.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a matter of, like we were talking earlier about, like, certain comics, they just figure out a way to dial it up to 11.
Yeah.
You're already at a 7, but it's like you just twist that knob a little bit more.
Yeah.
You can become, I mean, I don't know. The thing is, though, do you want to?
Do you want to stand out?
Do you want to? But I mean, not even
to
stand out, but do you want to be Gary Owen?
No, dude, I definitely don't.
That dude's got a good life.
That's his own thing, though. I can't be Gary Owen.
But
not
still,
to say anything's bad about Gary. I mean, he's killing it. But
it's not like you think when he started, when he was at this level you're at now, do you think he made a conscious decision, or was it just that it just happened like that?
I think at some point there was a conscious decision because I'm there now. Like, look at there's another Gary Owen out now. I don't know if you've seen him. He's funny as hell. He's like the same category of Gary Owen. White dude. Not as like, Gary Owen got a little bit of that nerdy side to him.
Yeah.
This other dude, have you seen him on TikTok? He's hilarious, dude. I'm a big fan. He's like, black people look like they're always talking to people over a fence. He went viral with that. Remember that guy? Anyways, I see his videos. He goes, black people, come out and come buy your tickets. And I'm like, I don't want to. Not to say, hey,
even Gary Owen doesn't say that.
Yeah, even if this guy's watching that, I'm not hating on anybody. Please, everybody's doing great. But, well, I don't know if we're all doing great, but I know I don't want to throw shade at anybody. I just want to be self-conscious of myself and be like, I definitely want to entertain everybody.
But, I mean, sometimes what if the audience just starts showing up like that?
I mean, maybe, but I have older white ladies, grandmas that love me too, though.
There's probably some older white ladies that like Gary Owen. The guy's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like the guy from Power.
Yeah, I don't know if there is a self-conscious decision with
Part of life is just sort of taking what comes to you, though, right?
I think standing out is a huge thing. That's something I noticed. If you could stand out, separate yourself from everybody somehow.
But I mean, just imagine, what if you never know what your niche is going to be, right?
Yeah, I mean,
what if you just have your thing that's like short guys?
I think it would be happening by now.
But I mean, you don't know. It takes time. It hasn't been that long.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I think my niche is more being like more animated. Whenever I do that, like remember you seen me hosting one night? You were like, man, you were really turning it on.
Yeah.
I was doing great.
Yeah, of course.
I almost feel like that's who I need to be. That's my 11.
Of course.
But I need to show up at the party like that, not just on stage.
Well, I mean, it's part of it too. Is like to have a sustainable career, you got to be able to maintain a certain level of on.
Right.
Where it's like some guys, I think that's why guys go crazy at a certain point in their career is that they can't keep putting on the dress.
Do you think, like Sebastian, do you think when people would just go over his house for cocktails, do you think he's like, do you want ice? You know?
I think that's why I've heard him talk about this before, where it's like everybody expects him to be on because he's such a character on stage, but he's like a cool guy. In real life, he's like a cool, serious guy. It's like, you know, yeah, he knows when he goes on stage. He's such an old school show business guy that it's like he knows this is my character on stage. Then once he leaves stage, I think he's like, you know.
See, I think that's what it is with me. I think I need to amp it up for the stage and dial it back because I always get people telling me, bro, you are like on stage, you're so much more chill. I didn't expect you to, or you're so much more chill in real life.
Right.
I didn't expect you to be, but maybe I'm just holding that part of me out back from people.
Right.
Because I can't imagine, and there's comics that do it, bro. Just like they're on stage, they'll walk up to you outside and they'll be like, yo, what's up? You know, and you'll be like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Some guys are like that, though. I mean,
yeah.
That's just who they are. Do you think, though, like when you like connect, because you do have a lot of material about like learning disability stuff, do you feel like there are some people who just like relate to it, right?
Well, here's the thing. We're all a little learning disabled.
Right. You just got it way worse than everybody else.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think we all got it. Yeah. I just got it. I touched a little more. But, you know, that's where I try to make it relatable for everybody.
Right.
Like, you know, because everybody does dumb stuff. It's almost like the Are You Garbage guys, right? Everybody's a little bit garbage, right?
Of course. That's why they relate to it.
When you get that thing where you're like, oh, I see it on stage. I'll say stuff that you're a smart dude, but I'm sure you did some dumb stuff. And I'll say it, something like a common dumb thing. And, you know, people laugh at that. Like, oh, like, you know, even I've been changing the opener a little bit. Like, you know, I was diagnosed with a learning disability. So good to be around so many of my peers, you know, now bringing them all in.
Of course.
You know, you may be good at multiplication, but come on, you ain't fooling nobody.
Right.
You did something dumb before.
But you got to think, though, too, is like so many people in the country also don't read very well.
Right.
I think there's a lot of more people than you realize that just barely got out of high school.
And they just don't talk about it.
Not only do they not talk about it, it doesn't even come up.
They
just get through their life some other way.
You know, I wonder when I'm looking at my stuff, because somebody even labeled me, and I don't know if there's a good thing, but a girl was like, oh, yeah, somebody was telling me about you're the guy that just does all those dumb jokes, how dumb you are. And it's like, that's kind of cool. People know my act. Like, I couldn't tell you what the person that said that. I couldn't tell you one of their jokes.
Right.
But also, is it like, you know, you don't see Louis just doing one thing. You know, he's going to talk about everything.
Well, you don't literally only talk about one thing.
Yeah, that's
you have
true.
Plenty of other stuff. I mean, that's just the one thing they remember. But, I mean, like, that's how it is for most comics, is that people only remember one specific joke or one kind of vibe. They remember, like, your energy you had on one joke, and they just kind of, like, you know, that's who you are.
Yeah.
You're the guy that Sebastian has a Chipotle joke. You're that guy.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart is like big eyes kind of guy, you know.
Yeah, he's I wonder when he started doing that.
Yeah. But you got to think, too, it's not only like, because comedy now is like international. So just imagine, too, someday you're going to be touring in like, you know, India. And you're going to get like all like the dumb Indian guys, too. There's a lot of dumb guys in the whole world.
Dude, if I could market that, I bet you there's more dumb guys than there is guys from India. If you had to weigh it out.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, there are a lot of
close.
There's a lot of Indian guys. But I mean, like, even like in a country like India or China where there's a very high standard of education, there's a big educated class. There's got to be at least 100 million people in India that can't even read.
Yeah.
There's 1 billion Indian people. 10% of them, 20% probably, are like dumb as hell.
That's crazy to even think.
Yeah.
I met a couple dumb people that look smart. That's the weirdest thing.
That's even worse, though.
Yeah, you still want to trust them.
Well, at least with you, it's like someone could probably size you up and figure it out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to start using some basic words at first. But if somebody looks like they're like a genius, then it's like, no, I'm going to start you at level 10. And
Dude,
it's like that guy's going to fail.
People come up to me and talk to me like I'm a little kid sometimes. They'll be like, no, and when you did it. Dude, I hate that. I'll be like, talk to me like I'm an adult.
Talk to me like I'm a slightly older kid. Yeah. 12, 13.
I remember, dude, I was at a restaurant one time and the waitress didn't even say anything. They just cut my steak up. And, dude,
wow.
Yeah, dude. And I don't dress that nice either. Maybe that. I was on a date.
Christ. She thought you were going to, like, choke?
Yeah, dude,
wow.
I was on a date with a girl.
I'm surprised she didn't, like, put your napkin in your shirt for you.
Yeah, dude, she was talking to me like I was a child.
She was going to serve you milk with dinner.
Yeah.
Jeez.
She was like, it comes with 2 sides. Dude, I'll never forget. I'm like,
that's messed up. I mean, that's honestly offensive. That's a step too far. I get everything else, but it's like, wow.
I was on a date.
Man, that's the kind of situation where, like, at the end of the day, you pay with your credit card, and the waiter, like, I'm gonna put the tip in myself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Yeah, he doesn't know any better. Bless his heart.
Yeah, bless his heart, the young boy. Did you brush your teeth?
You got to think though, if you're in a situation like you spend a lot of time at the airport.
Yeah.
I mean, you're at the airport, and you gotta, however you design the system at the airport, it has to work for everybody.
Right.
So it's like, that's why at the airport they got to explain everything in such basic language, 5 different languages. They got to use their hands.
Except for in Paris, they don't give a shit. They're like, look, you don't know French. Good luck. Okay.
Everybody in America though, it's like, here's how the seatbelt goes into the other seatbelt.
Yeah.
And it's like, they don't want to do that.
Right.
They have to though, because they realize who they're talking to.
If
they don't explain how to put your seatbelt on, there's a lot of people that it's just not going on.
Remember dude, I don't think that this thing maybe it still is. I can't remember, but on the subways, they would show somebody hanging on the back of the train.
Yeah.
It would say bad, and then they'd show somebody inside the train good.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, who's hanging on the back of the train?
A lot of people are hanging on trains, man.
Just jumping.
We saw it during the podcast. I mean,
I just seen some surfers, bro.
The thing is, when you have this many people, it's like you're gonna get some dumb guys in there, and it's like you would think, hopefully, as a society, our goal would be to somehow move up to the point where, you know, at least we don't gotta deal with this lowest common denominator. The thing is, though, we're not.
Right.
People aren't getting smarter.
Yeah.
You ever think about that?
Until AI.
No, but I mean, AI is getting smarter. The people, though, aren't. The level of intelligence isn't going up more.
Yeah.
I think, if anything, it's probably
going down.
Well, I think there's more and more people that just have. It's not just that they they're bad in school and they don't have, like, you know, book smarts. They don't even have the ability to focus on something long enough to get book smarts.
Yeah. Did you ever see Idiocracy?
Yeah.
That's what I really think it's coming to.
Yeah, and I mean, it's that we're going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, we're not like the Mayans.
But even because you got to think, 200 years ago in America, the literacy rate was like 30%. 1,000 years ago, the only people that could read is like a priest.
Wow.
There's one guy in the entire town that can read, and he can only read the Bible.
Huh.
And like everybody else has to sign with an X. Or if you got to make a deal for your farm, it's like you just know the guy.
Wow.
So it's like it's all handshakes. But now it's like, then, you know, over time, people get more modern. School becomes compulsory. You got to go to school. And now I think literacy in America, it's probably like 70, 80%.
Yeah.
So almost most people can read. But you got to think about it. If you saw it on like a chart of like, this is where intelligence was 1,000 years ago and this is where it is now. That chart is flat now.
Yeah.
It's not going up. There's that last part that we didn't get to. It's like, no, we're just not getting to that. Now we're going back down.
See, I think we need to go back to like making stuff out of dirt and twigs and just try to figure it out. Can I make a radio with these leaves?
True.
And once you could do that.
Like you're on an island.
Yeah. And it's like you just think of shit. Just put your phone away. Let me just look at the moon and think for 12 hours.
Well, do you think, I mean, like, because obviously now you see yourself as being like below average intelligence in terms of like book smarts, education. If you went back if I put you in a time machine right now and you went back 300 years, where do you think you would be out of 100 of people?
Dude.
Do you think you would be like smart guy?
I'd be a con man. I would con everybody. I'd go con George
No,
Washington.
I'm not saying that you know what you know now.
Oh.
If you were born 1,000 years ago and out of the general population, you would be smarter than you are now.
Well, yeah, because back then you were smart if you knew how to do the stuff. Like if I'd garden and I'd be smart because I'd make corn. That's where I excel at. When you didn't need to send an email back then, nowhere to put a stamp, the left side, the right side.
Right.
Maybe back then you needed a bird. You tie it to its wing, and I could catch a bird. So
do you think you would have been like...
Be a mailman or something.
But do you think everybody else wouldn't have been able to figure out how to catch a bird? You'd be the only guy in the city who knew how to do that shit?
I mean, I'd be a little bit better. I'd probably catch a bird quicker than you. You could read about birds.
Hey, you don't know. What if I practice that shit, though? I have patience.
Yeah, but you
I don't
also
have ADD. I can concentrate on these things.
But you got the common sense to know that this bird might pluck your eye out. That's where I excel. I'm like, I'm going for it.
Yeah, but that means you would have your eye plucked out, and I would have two good eyes.
Yeah. But then I'd be that
I mean,
wise
neither of us can read, but I mean, clearly it's 1,000 years ago. There's no cars to detail.
Right.
Yeah, you don't got that.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd be doing.
Are you good though with like? Can you build a fire out of sticks?
I can't build a fire, but I could learn. I'm good with my hands. Like
if I gave you the stick and the rock and the flint, do you think you'd be able to figure it out?
I think I would. I got willpower like that. Yeah, I'd figure it out. I'd build a hut for sure.
Do you think, though, back then there had to be some dumb guys who couldn't do it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
even back in caveman times, there were some dumb cavemen and some smart cavemen.
Yeah, can you imagine? I could see you being the smart caveman. You'd be like, why do I need a fire? You could eat fish raw. You just come up with some natural thing.
It's a philosophical argument.
Yeah.
No, but it's like, I'm sure out of like, I mean, you were living in like hunter-gatherer, so it's like 20 guys in a little tribe. Only two of them, one or two, need to know how to make the fire.
Yeah.
Everybody else kind of has their own thing to do, right?
It's about teamwork.
And you need a couple of dumb guys who are like, we got beef with the next town.
Or they'll just make you laugh.
We got to send we got to send our goons.
I feel like if I grew up back then, my teeth would be messed up. I'd be gnawing on sticks.
Everybody else's teeth would be messed up too, though.
Yeah, maybe. Unless they just left them alone, I'd probably be picking at mine.
Right, yeah.
What else are you going to do?
But, I mean, you think you'd probably be... Because back then, too, it wasn't even just smarts. It's like you had to be able to fight.
Right.
You had to be able to really, hold your own.
Yeah, I think the people that did excel back then, though, were the con men. Everybody that...
There weren't con men back then, though.
I'm sure there was, dude. Somebody'd con you out of your fish. They'd start telling you about the moon and something.
Well, I mean, yeah, there was the religion came in at a certain point. People started talking more. But I mean, like primal, prehistoric man, Flintstones era. I think it was really just about like, you only got to know a couple things.
Yeah.
You just have to be valuable to the group.
I'd have a bunch of short kids, I bet. I'd go find a short girl, have some short kids.
But let's think about it the other way, though.
They eat less.
What if I sent you into the future 300 years and you had to be born in 300 years? How much lower do you think you would be out of the 100? Because right now, let's say hypothetically you're at a 50 and I sent you back into the past and suddenly now that 50 is more like a 70 because everybody else is also dumb.
Yeah.
But if I sent you into the future, do you think you'd be going up or down?
Yeah, dude, probably down. I wouldn't be able to do anything. Dude, imagine if somebody just showed you that and you're from 500 years ago, what are you going to do with that thing?
Well, this is not my question. My question isn't that I'm not sending you with your current knowledge now, but if you were born in 300 years, do you think you would be above or below average intelligence?
I mean, I'm always going to be below.
But do you think it would get worse than it is now? Do you think everybody else would get smarter or everybody else is getting dumber?
I think it would be worse than it is now because the need to learn stuff, you'd have to learn so much more.
But you think everybody else is also going to pick up that stuff? Because the general population is going to be, I mean, if whatever dumb they're at now, do you think they're going to get dumber or smarter?
I think general population's going to get more reliable on technology, so they'll get dumber in everything except for how to use that computer.
Right.
They're going to get real smart at that. And
Yeah.
then they're going to be like dumb with building a fire. They'll be, like little things I think they'll be dumb with. Like what's some regular knowledge stuff that we know now that we computers are going to take over? Like a car wash.
Right.
Nobody's going to know how to wash a car.
Do you think you'll have to, though?
In the future? Probably not.
Yeah.
I'm going to have all this knowledge. Well, yeah, I wouldn't know what I'd know now, but I think, it would just be, I'd be so much dumber because I don't want to learn shit. And
Right.
there'd be so much more to learn. Except for like cars, mechanics, they always have to learn every year. It's like the car changes so much.
Right.
I couldn't imagine, dude, even we just keep up with computers, but look at the AI that Photoshop does. I wouldn't even know that if you showed it to me. Now I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Look at all the people that went to college for Photoshop to do that same thing.
True. My thing, though, is that, like you were saying, it really comes down so much of the time to willingness to learn.
Exactly.
And your attitude going in. If you go into it and you're thinking to yourself, like, this is some smart guy shit, I can't do this. Or it's like, if you go into it, if you're reading that book and you come across the word that you're not familiar with, the winning attitude is, I'm going to look this up. And clearly, the winning attitude is, the guy writing this must know something that I don't know. So I'm going to try to become smarter, and I'm going to try to engage with this and understand it. The losing mentality is, this guy is just being an asshole, and I'm going to put this book down right now.
Right.
All you got to do is teach yourself to go for the former rather than the latter.
And I'm sick of being a loser.
If you go into it, any situation, even with computers, meet somebody who doesn't use computers. Most of the time, that was a decision they made at some point, where they start telling themselves, like, I'm just not a computer person. I can't figure this out. All you had to do was not say that.
Right.
All you had to do at some point was just sit down, and maybe it takes you a little longer than other people to figure it out, but it's there to figure out.
You're so true about
all of these
that.
things can be figured out.
I've been thinking about what you've been saying with that too. Like I don't know if you've seen my new video I did on Adobe, dude. I was doing all kinds of stuff, words popping up.
Yeah.
I did a little edit thing where the water comes down.
Yeah.
Dude, it took me 4 hours to really kind of learn those little things. And it's cool now I know them. I know how to do it.
Yeah.
But I took that same mentality that you have. I used to always say, I'm not a computer guy. I'd brag about it. I don't mess with no computers.
Right.
Even when we were all doing comedy and everybody's like, oh, dude, you need to go on TikTok. Like, dude, it was like 3 weeks new.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't mess with no computers. I don't do that bullshit. I'm old school.
Right.
What's that win you? You know? What are you going to figure something out?
And it's not like you have some alternative.
Right.
Where it's like, I'm not going to do that. Instead of that, I'm going to wash cars. It's like, no, that's not the winning attitude.
Yeah, and I've been through this with people that I know because people told me early on, like I had that teacher in third grade say, look, you can't learn. And I really believed her, and I just didn't try. And, then later on in life, I've seen people, and I tell them, like, 16, 17, I'd come across a younger version of myself, this kid I worked with. And I told him, I'm like, dude, read some books. It's like a vacation. He'd be like, nah. Like, dude, the mentality for a lot of people is, I hate to say it, but like some people in the hood, books are gay, dude.
Yeah.
It's messed up that people would even think. I'm not making this up. I don't want to get canceled. This is a real thing.
Here's the thing. I think everybody realizes this too. Yeah.
Right.
I think we've all encountered this at some level. Yeah.
It's like, dude, reading shit, and it's like, yeah, dude, read. I'm telling you, it's a vacation. You could read a book.
Well, it's one thing if you're like, I can read or I'm choosing not to. But it's another thing that some people are just like, this shit's too hard.
Right.
I'm not going to this is going to be confusing. I'm not going to get it. So it's like, I'm not even going to try.
Dude, it's like cool to be done. Like, I remember, dude, did this joke one time in like a hood room. And the whole point of the joke is simple math so everybody could get it.
Yeah.
And the joke was about my mother with the word son.
Right.
I'm proud of my S-U-N,
yeah.
right? And then somebody's not laughing. I'm like, you get it? Because son's, it's not spelled like that. This dude's like, I don't know how to spell that shit. I'm like,
I
dude,
ain't come here for that.
that's crazy. And I had it with the 2 + 2 joke.
Wow.
You think everybody's gonna know 2 + 2?
Right.
Some people don't want to learn that shit. There's some people out there in the world that don't know 2 + 2, and they're functioning. They're normal people. They probably,
and those people can also vote.
And you probably trusted that person.
Yeah.
And they probably have a real job somewhere.
Yeah, you're on the bus. You don't realize that guy's driving the bus.
Right.
Yeah. Who knows?
And there's real people out there that don't. And then that makes me feel better about myself. I mean, I don't go much further than 2 + 2. Like, dude, long division, I couldn't tell you where to start with that.
Right.
And that's probably, what grade level math is long division? What about dividing with fractions?
4th grade, probably.
Yeah.
5th grade.
What would you say dividing fractions is what?
7th grade.
Yeah, dude, that's where I checked out.
Wow.
But it was always cool.
But, I mean, it's not like that's going to come up very often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When would you have to divide with a fraction? When's the last time you did it?
I mean, that was just like, here's another thing I always felt like when I was in like 7th grade and we were learning how to divide fractions, there was a couple dumb guys in my class who were like, when am I ever going to have to learn how to do this? This is stupid. The reason you're in school and they're teaching you how to do it is not because this is going to come up when you're doing your taxes. The reason you had to learn how to divide fractions is that you learned how to do something.
Yeah.
Just going through
Difficult.
going through the process of starting something that you don't know how to do, figuring it out, and then kind of learning how to get past that. That's a skill. The skill isn't fractions. The skill is learning.
See, if you were my teacher, bro, that's brilliant.
Yeah. The point is, almost nothing you do in school is you actually have to do. Right? They're not teaching you how to drive a car and go to the grocery store. That's what most of life is.
Right.
But the reason why it's probably smart for you to learn how to do this stuff and learn about chemistry is that it's part of you using your brain to figure something out. Whereas if you don't have the mentality of I'm going to figure this out, then you're just going to be a guy who doesn't do shit.
Yeah.
You're limiting yourself so much.
See, that knowledge that you just gave me is so much more, it means so much more than like the teachers I have, they try to make a funky rap song.
Exactly.
It's some old white guy and the fractions, oh no, don't do that.
Well, people think
fractions.
that going to school is supposed to prepare you for life and prepare you for your job. And it's like, I mean, it's not.
How to deal with a bald spot.
Yeah, that's not like a scientific thing, but it's like...
Put on a hat.
Yeah, exactly.
1 + 1 = 2.
I have a problem, and now I'm going to solve my problem. So it's hopefully, if your problem is that simple, then it's that simple. But so many people just approach life with that completely wrong attitude of like, yeah, I can't figure this out, therefore I'm not going to figure it out.
Yeah.
There's another side to this, though, where there's some guys, like we were talking about social intelligence, there's some guys who become so smart in the book smarts that they confuse it with social intelligence. These are the guys who pay for pickup artist classes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These are the guys who think that hitting on women is some sort of a math equation where if I figure out the perfect words to do this and this and this, then I'll be able to solve the equation. And it's like, no, that's not how it works.
I used to think that way about comedy. I used to think jokes were some mathematical equation.
Yeah. That you
about energy.
You got to solve this, this, and this. And once you figure out, it's like, no, that's when you got to put all that shit aside.
Yeah.
And you just got to feel it and you got to be in the moment.
We are capable beyond our belief. Oh, now I'm ready for comedy.
Yeah. But it's
not that we're inadequate.
That's the problem with at least within comedy. It's a problem with guys like me end up having. Is that you end up trying to write your way out of your problem.
Start reading quotes.
Well, not even that, but it's like you're trying to think your way out of it. And it's like the way out, the solution to the problem is not more thinking. The solution to the problem is less thinking.
Yeah, it's this girl got big titties. I told you for years.
Yeah, you fucking this girl.
Yeah, damn.
Well, that's the thing that you got to be in the moment for. But if you're like me, then you're like on stage trying to remember all your notes, and you're trying to put this word here and move this around. And it's like you're twisting yourself up in a knot.
Yeah.
Whereas you got to be. The point is, no, look at these tits.
Right.
And I mean that's part of
You're gonna get decibel laughs on that one.
That's your caveman brain.
The shock humor. I'm watching myself and I'm like disgusted with some of the stuff I say. Like we were saying, we watch comedy specials before and we see there would be people that would do that on a special. I'm like, oh man, like I wouldn't want to be like look at these tits. Like it probably works in the moment.
Maybe though, in 10 years, you're gonna look back at yourself now and being like, I should have just said the tits thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's, maybe there is something that we don't understand about it.
I'll tell you exactly what my whole thing is. Dude, I'm not coming from a hateful place. Being good at comedy doesn't matter to anybody. You just got to be good enough to get by. Yeah. And then just be a likable person, dress a certain way all the time, be consistent, and show up. I wish I would have known that. I used to think, I'm going to come up with this joke. It's going to be so great. It's going to blow the room away. They're going to laugh for 7 minutes straight. And I've had one or two jokes where they laughed for 3. I had to stop. Please stop laughing. Right. That doesn't mean anything.
It couldn't hurt, but yeah.
I mean, it couldn't hurt, but why waste 15 years you're very rarely you're going to have a lot of jokes like that your first 5 years in comedy,
right?
Unless you stole them from somebody else. But you're going to, most likely, you're going to just be okay at comedy for a long time.
Right.
That's the real truth of it. And maybe you'll go after acting and get on a show and you'll still be okay at comedy, but nobody's going to give a fuck. Nobody's like, oh, well, let's see. You got a 7. It's not like a diving board thing.
Yeah.
You're not great in it.
Yeah.
It's, do we like hanging out with this individual?
Yeah. I mean, does the girl have big tits?
Right.
Yeah. That's what we want to know.
That's all we.
And what if the girl, too? Maybe she's into it.
Oh, she would be.
She wants to hear about it, too.
The bad thing is it works even if she got small tits because nobody could see her.
Right.
She's saying the word.
And even the girl, she's just glad that you talked about her.
Yeah.
Yep.
She feels like she won. It's about me now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get way better connecting with the audience, getting them to like me. Like, you ever see a comedian go on stage, room full of white girls, and he wins them over immediately? He goes, yeah, it's an explosion of kale chips. And everybody's like, we love this guy. But, the second he goes up there and goes, listen, you guys shouldn't vote. It's a problem.
Right.
Not that I'd ever say that, but, you see that.
Look at these tits.
Yeah, that's where you win.
Yeah.
Middle line. These tits look like they've been eating kale. That's when you'll really win.
Right, yeah. You fucking her?
I could judge your diet by your titties. That would bro, I'm telling you right now.
I got to write this down.
Can you imagine how much
you got to cut this out for some conversation.
She eats hot Cheetos and then do this. She'll be eating hot Cheetos with them titties. It is.
Yeah. You're just on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean, just destroying.
Yeah, murdering.